Hi, I'm Jeremy Vaughn Clark, and this is the Rise Point Podcast, where potential meets presence. I'm a speaker, author, and coach, and I help individuals go from invisible to undeniable so that they can rise to the point where the world can't afford to overlook. Because I believe we all have a rise point. The moment where hiding is no longer an option, and rising is the only way forward. And this podcast is all about finding your rise point. In today's episode, I want to talk about a time I almost quit. I was preparing for a speech competition. And the year prior, I was supposed to do this competition, but I was involved in a car accident. That night specifically, it was the day before Valentine's Day. I had balloons in my car. I had flowers from my mom, my girlfriend, and I'm excited because the next day is Valentine's Day, and that night I was driving to do the competition. And before I knew it, as I'm driving on a freeway, I get rear-ended by a Mercedes going 105 miles per hour. Next thing I know, I'm in the hospital, and I'm pretty much disappointed that I missed my shot. But I thought, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. So I trained all year round, practiced my speaking skills, thought I was getting better, and I was primed to perform the next year. Once that year came and the speaking competition started, I felt very equipped. Now, the way the competition works is there are 4 rounds. There's your club level, there's your district level, there's your area level. Well, there's your club, your area, your district, and I could be your club, your area, and district. And then it goes on to the world competitions of semifinals and the finalists of the world. So pretty much it goes all the way up to the world competition of who could be the best speaker in the world that year. And I know I didn't say it yet, but this is for the Toastmasters International. So in preparing for this, I believed that first round I would be able to advance without pretty much a problem. There are a lot of great speakers in my club. I just felt like I had the edge with the content that I had within a speech that I'd performed. Now, after I performed and I heard everybody else's speeches, not to throw salt, but I felt like, I had a pretty good chance at moving forward. But when they were announcing the votes and the winners, I came in second place. I was extremely humbled, sad, disappointed. And for the first time in a long time, I cried. Now, I don't normally cry about too much of anything, to be honest with you. I really only cry about the passing of my father or the thought of family members leaving me. So I knew that when I cried after I lost, that something wasn't right. I questioned everything. I questioned my purpose. I questioned if I should be speaking. I questioned if I'm choosing the right path. I questioned why was I even in a car accident if it wasn't going to prepare me and give me more time to advance and continue in my speaking journey. Now, after I lost, something interesting happened. I received an email from one of the team members, and they said, "Hey, Jeremy, I'm sorry that you lost, but there's an online portion taking place, and I think that you would be really great for it." Now, when I saw this email, I scoffed at it. I said, if I couldn't win past the first round and I don't even understand the judging criteria, why would I even put myself out there again to be rejected? Right? The fear of losing again was taking over. And I believed at that moment, maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe I need to pivot. And I had a conversation with one of my friends, and he said to me, you could either quit, which would be valid because, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Or this could be a part of your story. And if this is a part of your story, then you need to make the most of it and enter that online competition. And after taking his advice in and thinking about the words that he said, I figured, you know what? If this is a part of my story, let's see how it ends. But what that did do for me was when I went into that online competition, I removed all expectations from my mind. And I focused solely on the work that it took for me to just be better. That was my only focus. I just wanted to be better. I want to deliver a better speech and see what happens, and I can live with the results from there. Next thing you know, I won the first round. I was excited, but I didn't get too high because I knew I can always come in second. The second round comes. I do it again. First place. Now I'm getting a little excited because the next round is the championship round. And I thought to myself, what is the possibility that I can actually win this round? But I say, you know what? You can't get too high. You already lost. You know what it feels like to get your hopes up and lose. Don't do that to yourself. Just do your best. And when the championship round came, I performed. And I performed the best that I've ever performed within the last few rounds. And I came in first place. And all of a sudden, I'm an award-winning speaker again. Now that taught me something. It taught me to never give up in the middle of the storm when it feels like you've hit a roadblock. Because the storm is rough. The storm is going to make you question everything. It's going to make you question your worth, your value, if you're even able to do the things that you set out to do. But if you have a vision for yourself, you cannot blink. You have to be able to put yourself in a position to continue pushing towards that vision. Things are going to happen to test you to see if you're worthy of that vision. And that's going to be your own test. You're going to be tested. Can you get over the hump? Can you persevere? Are you resilient enough to push through these obstacles to see the light at the end of the tunnel? If I were to have quit, I'm not sure where I would be with my speaking career right now. I'm not sure where my confidence level would be. But because I was able to go through the competition and continue to win, and mind you, I didn't tell you guys this, but the speech that I won with was a speech that I lost with in the first round. So because I have that proof that the things that I'm coming up with actually work and actually are impacting people, then I have more confidence to continue going. But if I were to have quit, the only proof I would have is one that it doesn't work out. Is one that it will always be the quitter mentality until I prove myself otherwise. So that time I almost quit taught me a lot, but most importantly, it taught me that you can never give up, even when it seems like there's no hope ahead. And that's all for today's episode. This has been The Rise Point. I am Jeremy Vaughn Clark. Subscribe, tap in, share this with a friend. Whoever needs to hear about not giving up on themselves, share this episode, because we all have that moment where we feel like walking away. But if you have a deeper purpose and a greater ambition, that's not even an option. This is Jeremy Vaughn Clark, and I'll see you in the next episode.